Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games. The Sicilian defense controls the d4 square with c-pawn. Nf3 develops the knight toward the center to prepare for a d4 pawn push, where the knight will recapture if black captures on d4. d6 opens up the light-squared bishop and prevents white from pushing the pawn to e5 after black eventually plays nf6. d4 offers to trade the d-pawn for the c-pawn, giving up a center pawn for more active pieces. Cx d4 gives black 2 central pawns versus 1 central pawn for white. Nx d4 recaptures the pawn and activates the knight in return for having 1 central pawn versus black's 2 central pawns. Nf6 develops the knight toward the center and attacks the undefended e4 pawn. Nc3 defends the e4 pawn and starts to develop on the queen side. A6 prepares the queenside pawn advance b7 b5, and also prevents white from playing the bishop or knight to b5. bg5 puts immediate threatens the knight on f6, white may castle queenside after developing the queen. e6 controls the important d5 and f5 squares and allows the dark squared bishop to develop to e7. f4 gains space in the center, controls the e5 square, and prepares to develop the queen to f3 behind the f-pawn. qb6 develops the queen, attacks the knight on d4 and unpins the knight of f6. qd2 develops the queen and prepares queenside castling. qxb2 captures the b2 pawn and attacks the rook on a1. rb1 attacks the queen and takes control of the half-open b-file. qa3 moves the attacked queen to the only square where it will not be captured. f5 attacks the pawn on e6 and allows the queen on d2 to protect the bishop on g5. nc6 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the knight on d4 and controls the e5 square. fx e6 captures the pawn and threatens x7 plus. fx e6 recaptures the pawn but weakens the e8 h5 diagonal. nx c6 trades off the knight on c6 before it can move to e5. bx c6 recaptures the knight. b2 develops the bishop and prepares a possible future check on h5. This activates a bishop by developing it off of its starting square. This threatens to take an open file with a rook. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. Castling gets the king to a safer square, out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling to the same side of the board as the opponent avoids some of the attacking associated with opposite side castling. This wins time by threatening a queen and forcing it to move away. This moves the queen to safety. This blocks the check from an opposing queen. This move puts the queen on a safer square. This wins a tempo by threatening a queen and forcing it to move away. This moves the queen to safety. This attacks a queen, winning a tempo when it moves away. This is the only move that works. It is the last book move. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening.